MK Party in signature fraud.
Yeah, we've got the new Mufasa movie, which is actually launching. We just saw the trailer of it, which is coming out on the 20th of December.
EFF, it's in Vuka, Vela, Vita. Kabza the Small, I think he collected the most awards that evening.
Black Bullshit are back together.
sizok'thola is a new host to X now, so they X'd X to get X. Mashata was a popular DJ that got shot last week. It was a hit apparently. Abuya gig in Soshanguve.
Binjami, what's happening?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm Nandi, man. I'm skipping your weekend.
It was just polis, you know. Took the kids out for a hike, but other than that, everything else was too nice. Wena?
I'm having golf, obviously, you know me, and golf. But there's a lot that happened with Twitter. There's a lot, bro. Do you call it Twitter or X?
I still call it Twitter. I still call it Twitter for some odd reason, and correct myself later.
I do the same thing actually. I call it Twitter, but then, I don't think anybody. I think we did the study last year, Oguti. Nobody calls it X. People call it Twitter.
Yep, the downloads dropped. I think even the search on the platform, people were still searching Twitter instead of X. They were unfamiliar with the logo, so there was a lot happening there. I don't know now, but it was a topical thing in the beginning in America. I think now they got over it and they are fine.
Yeah, Twitter has been an interesting platform, and we've got a lot of news that happened. So if you guys are new to the platform, welcome to Spaza Talk. This is Shuti Wabashuti, and of course, I'm never alone.
Your boy Lebs.
Mr. Sophisticated.
Sophisticated Mchana, for those who don't know, because we always keep it classy.
That's right. But guys, we've got exciting news. A lot of things have happened on Twitter last week, and we know we give you weekly updates. So this week we've got brand new updates, and there's a lot that happened. I see the EFF is here.
EFF, it's in Vuka, Vela, Vota.
Oh, man, it's Vuka.
It's Vuka. Sivele.
Si vote.
Clean.
That's a new advert by them, right?
Yeah, that's a new ad from the EFF that they are pushing, and it's crazy because they go directly to the enemy. Their enemy is the ANC, and they speak to what they've been promising the people and all those kind of things, and that we need change this year. I think check it out, guys. It's not one of the best adverts by the top agencies, but it delivers the message.
For sure, and we know, Guti, it's so close to voting that we're seeing a lot of advertising. We're seeing the NCs also doing their own adverts, and they're saying that it's their own people doing it, but it's them actually doing it. And we're going to see a lot of people campaigning. But look, I see the EFF Advert got a lot of love on Twitter.
Yeah, people loved it. But another thing that got love was the Metro FM Music Awards 2024.
That was actually amazing, right? So, we forgot about them.
There was not enough marketing around it. Like from my side, I saw a list saying that who's going to be hosting and this and that, but I didn't know when they were happening.
Oh yes, yeah. I think at first it was a talk. Obviously, it was going to be in Bombela. Then I think they didn't have fees, and then Patrice came through.
The father of the nation,
the money man. The money man came through, and he actually sponsored the Metro FM Awards, which they were hosted in Bombela, I think, which is in PE. Really, really amazing. What were the winners? I see that obviously the biggest winner of the night is being Kabza the Small.
Yeah, Kabza the Small, I think he collected the most awards that evening. But I think let's look at Best Gospel, right? Best Gospel, we have Untokozo
Mbambo, yes.
Yeah, with Lavish Worship. That's the album, Ewinil.
That's nice. Okay, so best album goes to Ntokozo Mbambo. And then we have Kabza the Small for best collaboration.
Yeah, best collab we have...
best produced album, my bad. Best produced album, Kabza the Small and Mthunzi Isimo. And then best collaboration is also Kabza the Small and Mthunzi Imithandazo featuring DJ Maphorisa Stana. That Sizo Alkaline, and Umthakati Kush. What a beautiful song, bro.
Yeah, that's the jam, man. That's a South African theme song, and it even made the song of the year.
What an amazing one. And then my favorite is definitely on here as Artist of the Year, Ulwan Lunkulu. What a shout out to you,
Iping.
Then we have Best Viral Challenge, which was the Tswana Bam. This one here.
Oh. Yeah. Is it that one?
Then yeah, new artist. Who do we have there?
Nontokozo Mam'khize. And then we have the best group, which is The Legacy. Is that how it's spelled?
Yeah, The Legacy. I've actually The Legacy or The Legacy. I'm not too sure. Yeah, but interesting one. And then we have Best Dance, X Bantwini, Mama Tula, which is actually, I don't know that song.
Same.
Then Best Kwaito and Com is DJ Kotin, Hello, Angiazi.
Aye, Nama Angiazi, Chief. Aye, Ezakazums.
Best hip hop. Yeah, best hip hop definitely went out to Aries, Ving Rames. What a beautiful album, by the way. I actually love that album. And then who's Best African Pop?
Best African Pop is Bongizwe Mabandla.
Bongeziwe. That's your boy.
Bro, and I love this homie. No homo, no diddy. He is amazing on the vocals.
Super
His
amazing
lyrical
artist.
content is on point.
So true. He's
Amaxesha. Is it Amaxesha?
Yeah, Amaxesha, which is probably the times if you had to direct translate it.
Best Amapiano, again, Imitandazo. Best music video. This song is my jam, dog. It just I get goosebumps whenever I jam it. Eyaga Besi and Amos Izenzo.
I must listen to it. Amos is an amazing artist himself also. Love
Amos is amazing.
For sure, yeah. Let's just quickly run through these ones. Best male, Amos, and then best female is Mam'khize. Best style is Oscar Mbo, and then best R&B is Tandazo Kaita, Into You. Yeah, so those are the winners at Metro FM Awards. And that's part of the news that happened last week. But that's not the only thing that has been happening on the Twitter platform, of course. Mam'khize, apparently, she went on she was on carte blanche. In fact,
I saw that. I saw that episode.
And she was being questioned and things were being brought up to her and she was denying everything. So that's quite now trending. And she's literally saying, I think the case is, she's denying that it was her that was being charged. She's saying it's the company that was charged, and everybody else is saying it's you own the company, you registered the company, your signatures are on here, the company is you. So yeah, Mam'khize is in the news for that currently, and she's obviously always in the news.
She was so defensive, eh? She was so defensive. But anyways, sizok'thola. Sizok'thola. sizok'thola is a new host to X now, so they X'd X to get X.
To get the other X.
And we're reporting on X.
Hey, X on X. But yeah, who X from Ilontuzana, from the other show?
X Repo.
Is now the new presenter of sizok'thola.
sizok'thola, yeah.
And we know that he's the new presenter because the previous ex of sizok'thola is in court, or is there something happening around?
But he has another show. He has another show, not through Moja Love, and he's doing the same thing.
Okay, so he is on TV doing the same thing like
that he used to do sizok'thola.
He did say that in most of his talks, he's always that's his thing. He wants to eradicate that. He wants to work with people to eradicate. So shout out to him.
Shout out to him, man.
For sure. And then we're seeing some mushy stuff happening. Hey, Black Motion are back together. Or are they going to do a song together?
About Didi.
I know that Black Motion has huge fans in South Africa.
Yeah,
so
they are loved.
Yeah, for sure. And then their dispute was, I think, we can't remember their dispute, but it was quite public. But now they're back together for those who love them. So shout out to them. And then Peter Mashata.
Hey, Peter Mashata was a popular DJ that got shot last week. It was a hit, apparently. Abuyagwi gig in Soshanguve.
This is the second or third hit now in Pretoria of a popular artist.
Yeah. Not even second or third, because you remember Vusma 5 Rand, the one we also touched on.
I'm counting him on top of Maporisa. No, not Porisa, sorry about that. DJ Somebody.
Yeah, DJ Somebody. But that was in Woodmead. But he's a Pretoria guy.
He's a Pretoria gent, yeah.
But there's a lot.
For sure, yeah. So, unfortunately, RIP to DJ Peter Mashata Mabuse was killed. He was killed in a hail of bullets after he finished a performance in Soshanguve, north of Pretoria, in the early hours of Sunday morning. RIP to him. Condolences to him and the family and friends. We definitely don't like reporting on this, but we definitely will report on it. And then we've got something else which is coming up in December.
Hey, Mufasa.
Not
Casper. The movie.
Wouldn't it be dope if Casper was actually in there? I'm sure he would be over the moon.
And he'd
right?
be Mufasa.
It would be
amazing.
Right?
It would be amazing.
But yeah, we've got the new Mufasa movie, which is actually launching. We just saw the trailer of it, which is coming out on the 20th of December. And we know that our girl,
our very own Tuso, is going to be one of the voices in the movie.
That's so dope. I know that there's another South African. I just can't remember who it is that's going to be on there. But that's like some exciting. Somebody asked though, another movie? Another Mufasa movie?
They're going to have... Each and every character is going to have a movie now. Each and every character from the Lion King.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey son, we've played Lion King 5 times already. Let's focus on this one. What's Mufasa going to do? Is it his point of view? I wonder. I
think this time they're going with that. But they always start with... No, before they used to start with... is it Mufasa that's always being lifted?
No, that is Simba. Yeah.
But this time they start with Mufasa, actually. I think that's what they do.
Mufasa is the dad.
He's the dad.
I'm thinking Scar.
Yeah, the one who lifts him, right?
Yes.
Scar is the killer.
Yes, Scar is the uncle. The evil uncle.
Who killed Mufasa.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've actually never watched the movie consciously as an adult, which I actually should. I think it is one of the best movies that have ever come out of South Africa. But shout out to the people that are involved in the movie. It's definitely going to be nice when it comes out on the 20th of December.
Clean. And then we have your uncle or Mkhulu from the MK party. Yeah? MK party in signature fraud. My brother. So according to the legislation, right, political parties must submit at least 15,000 signatures of members and supporters to register for year's election and appear on the ballot. So they need those 15,000 signatures. And apparently some of those signatures were forged.
That's crazy.
And it's all coming out now. You're going to see each and every week there'll be negative press around MK.
Do you think it's because they're actually doing really, really well and they're here to disrupt so people will find anything to complain about them?
Yeah, a lot of political parties are feeling threatened by EMK. And I'm seeing it's not just the ANC, it's a lot of them because some want the 3rd spot, some want the 4th spot. And if MK is there, it's going to either take the 2nd, 3rd, or even 1st. Who knows?
For sure, yeah. And we obviously, we know these political parties are vying for seats, and the more seats they have, I believe they can, they have flexibility to move the country around. But we see that also Jabulani Khumalo was fired.
He's the guy that registered the MK, ne?
Yeah.
Tricky situations out here.
So do you think he really got fired, or it's one of those structural firing, like we're firing you but you're not fired?
I think it was a chess move here to say, Jabulani, you are going to register this, not me, so that there's no questions. But there'll come a time where, my brother, you have to go and don't argue. And he did exactly that. He didn't argue. He's like, I'm okay. I'm still going to vote for MK, right?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. So that's something that's interesting. We know that the MK party is doing a lot. I haven't seen any of the adverts in Joburg quite a lot. Or just
they're probably also working on an ad. EFF, Vuka, Vela, Vita.
Vita, yeah. We know that obviously they're big in KZN and not so much in these areas around the Metropolitan Joburg areas and Limpopo areas and so forth. So maybe there is advertising there. If you guys are in the KZN area or where MK party is predominantly there, please let us know if you're seeing any of their posters or anything like that.
I've seen a couple, actually. I've seen a couple in the north of Joburg. And in Alex, I've seen some. What are those? Those street polls.
Yeah.
Street poll ads. Yes.
It's funny if you look at street poll ads. If you ever look, the freshest one is always at the top because I think that when they arrive, they take down the other ones. So you always find the MK is always at the bottom. And this is just me, my observation when walking down my street. I can see this is an attempt by another party, but I can't see who it is because it's not the DA, it's not the EFF, it's not the ANC. So who is it? Because those are the 3 dominant ones. So I'm thinking it has to be the MK, but But let's be Interesting. But yeah, that's what happened on Twitter last week, on X, for those who still call it X, who do call it X rather. But yeah, for Mam'khize, we're going to give you guys now the total mentions from last week, and of course more stats on what happened on Twitter last week in South Africa. Good Nenzani. So let's start with the amount of tweets that went out last week from you guys. We got 6.8 million tweets, which is a 1% increase. That's amazing. And then we've got a 1% increase on the unique authors, with 127,000 unique authors from last week just in South Africa alone. So yeah, that's good news. And before I go to the sentiment, do you have any on these stats here?
No, it's amazing. I don't know. Is the unique authors more bots, or political parties also getting bots like Bibi Mzansi? It's really amazing because of the fluctuating numbers when it comes to the unique authors.
For sure.
It's not consistent.
It's not consistent at all. Yeah, it's always up and down. So it's interesting. We know it's coming up to to voting day. So political parties are going to be involved quite a lot on social media. They know exactly that's what we were. But yeah, that's what happened in an amount of tweets and the amount of authors. And then in the sentiment, we've got a 2% decrease on the negative. Shout out to that. We celebrate everything here, guys. And then on the positive, we've got just a stagnation or stagnant. It didn't go anywhere from the week before. So the positivity is definitely happening, and it is good. My dog, please take me to the negative word cloud for... should we go to the busiest day rather first?
Let's look at the sentiment, the conversation around the negative sentiment, right? We have the ANC, definitely. As always, Gaza is still up there. Sad. We have life. There's money. Killed, and police. I think those are some of the biggest ones. Also arrest. I see arrest there as a keyword showing up. And yeah, I think that's about it in terms of negative keywords.
The positive also hasn't changed much. We're seeing just a few words here. I don't know why Klopp is here. He's the Liverpool coach, and they just lost. And did they lose on the weekend? That's where they drew, but their title hopes are over. But he's here on the positive word cloud. We're seeing Liam Pansy. Congratulations. God did. South
African. So it's probably great to be South African.
For sure, yeah. Zintle Mofokeng is here. Zintle Mofokeng is also on here. Happy birthday is here. Queen. I wonder what Queen is for. Kositwala, the Queen herself. All right, so those were the words around the busiest day. I mean, around the negative and the positive word clouds. But what was the busiest day, my nigga?
So last week, the busiest day was Wednesday. And we can see here with it got just over 1 million mentions, 1 million tweets. 1 million and some change, 1,048,000, somewhere there, right? And some of the words that show up for that day, we have league. I think there was a game that was playing. Everton. Was Everton playing on that day? I think
Everton were playing on that day too.
Yeah. And then there is president. What's also showing up is... I thought I was going to see something with substance, man. I don't see anything with substance. I think it's just a lot of conversations that happen. It wasn't one big conversation that drove to that high engagement on that day.
For sure. And we know that the week before that, Wednesday, was also the busiest day. It was driven by something. We just can't remember what it was happening on that day. But yeah, that is on the busiest day. But now let's go to the busiest day. We see that also hasn't changed much. The morning is still 10 a.m., between 10 a.m. and 9 a.m. And in the evening is between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. So the times really haven't changed as the busiest on X platform. If you definitely want to interact on there, and make sure that you are posting at those times to check it out. But yeah, is that it on the busiest times?
Yeah, that's it on the busiest time zones. I think just to reinforce that, Tuguti, in the morning and the evening, those are the best times to get the highest engagement. If you want to get the highest engagement for your content, those are the best times to post.
Danko. Definitely test it out. We know we've been testing it out ourselves. All right, let's go to the top trending topics. What were the most trending hashtags last week? And we're going to start at number 5 for you guys, which is a brand new entry on Spaza Talk Show. Shout out to them. Hashtag Sundowns with 11,000 mentions and 225 million impressions. Shout out to Sundowns.
Shout
Did they
out.
play a game on the weekend?
Yeah, they played a CAF game. I think it was against a team from Tunisia. Was it Tunis or something like that? But they lost.
Oh yes, I know a lot of people were out at Loftus. It was here in Pretoria, was it not? Yeah. So shout out to them, to Sundowns. They were mentioned quite a lot, and they got really a lot of support. I'll cover number 4, then you can cover our number 3. Number 4, we've got hashtag EFF Advert, which is a brand new one. Shout out to them also. With 12,000 mentions and 188 million impressions. It's also alongside hashtag Vote EFF. So we know Vote EFF has been here before, but shout out to this brand new hashtag. And I'm loving this, Libs, because we're actually seeing brand new hashtags on here that have never been in here before. So shout out to the EFF once again for being involved. What was our number 3?
Number 3, we have the Metro. It's MMA 24. Which means Metro FM Music Awards 2024, with 16,000 mentions and 580 million impressions. Yeah, those impressions are really, really impressive.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
For me, I still think there was not a lot of talkability around this, or maybe I'm not in that space, but I feel like I'm in that space. I have a lot of friends in the entertainment industry. I should have known about this,
Also, the other thing, why is it hosted in Bombela? I mean, we know where the big metropolitan areas are, where they would have gotten a lot of people, but maybe they just didn't want us to know about it. Who knows?
Hey, Bombela is low key, man. That's where they chow money peacefully.
For sure.
It's
but
the ANC after all.
It is the ANC after all, but then we won't know about it as much. But yeah, we do know that there were issues at Kali and They had issues with money-wise, just putting them together. And a lot of people complaining about just the design of it and how it is done, how it is made, everything. People getting paid. We know that Kabza walked away with a lot of money this time. But yeah, shout out to hashtag MMA 2024 24. And then at number 2, we've got hashtag Mass Singer SA.
Yeah, Mass Singer SA, that's a return soldier. We had it last week for the first time. This is the second time on the charts, and it's already on number 2. It was number 5 last week. Now it's number 2 with 18,000 mentions and 832 million impressions.
Shout out to Mass Singer. That's the biggest show right now happening in South Africa. But alongside that, we've actually got a brand new number 1, which is also another show. Shout out to
it's
hashtag.
A shocker.
It's a shocker, right? Yeah. Shout out to hashtag RHODurban, which is Real Housewives of Durban, with 19,000 mentions and 55 million impressions. Our number 1 on Spaza Talk is the most mentioned. Yes.
Women love drama, man. Anything that has drama is gonna trend, because if you were to look at this hashtag, it's mostly women saying, "Ooh, low yenza so, ooh, this one is broke, ooh, this one is doing this, ooh."
And every comment matters, right? Because then every comment, hashtag, you do that. Yeah. So shout out to Real Housewives of Durban for trending number 1 for the first time on Spaza Talk, and trending number 1 in South Africa for the first time. So shout out to you guys. And then let's go to the top earners.
The boys that are toxic. The toxic bunch.
The toxic bunch only. But we've got some good ones on here. I mean, Masandawana, which we're going to mention when they come in, but they're not that bad. Let's start at number 5. Number 5, we got at Julius S. Malema with 14,000 mentions and... I need to read this number, 821 million impressions. That is quite a lot for Julius Malema, coming in at number 5 as the most mentioned in South Africa on the X platform. And then number 2 is at Mass Singer SA with 15,000 mentions and, I'm going to have to read this number again, 572 million impressions. That is super amazing. Well done to at Mass Singer, coming in at number 4. And then who's on number 3?
Number 3, we have Masandawana, like you said, with 16,000 mentions and 87 million impressions. That's not too bad. I think it's because of the game. They were mentioned quite a lot because of that. And then number 2, we have the most toxic in the world, in the universe, in the galaxy, Chris Excel 102 with 24,000 mentions and 197 million impressions.
Shout out to Chris Excel. Shout out to all these top 4. At number 1, I think it's the second time or the first time they're on here. I want to give him a round of applause before I even mention who they are.
Is it the first time on what? The number 1 spot, right?
On the number 1 spot, I think so. Yeah, this is the first time number 1 is the most mentioned in South Africa at MDN News with 24,000 mentions and 184 million impressions. Shout out to MDN News for coming at number 1 in South Africa. So those were the most mentioned in South Africa, and as being the most mentioned, they actually earn some money from the X platform, because we know that advertisement happens below their posts and things like that. But yeah, so shout out to them. And we have ad of the week.
Yeah, ad of the week, Vuka, Vela, Vita. And we understand where the funds come from this ad, right? Julius has been on the top trenders list for some time now. He's been earning money from Elon. He used the dollars to create the ad. You'll see the ad is a semi-low budget ad, right? It's not like your Chicken Licking ads and your Nando's ads. Not high up there. No, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's for the economy, because as EFF you need to represent the majority.
Yes,
and
you can't look too AI.
Yeah, you can't be too LA, too Hollywood. No. Take it back to a Maghaya. That's what they did.
Definitely, I love the ad. As the ad of the week, I also love the ad. It was just simple. Despite the time that it is at right now, I just loved that they came up with an ad that actually made sense. It was a bit corny, but it was actually made sense. And I think if that message can transcend, I'm not saying vote for the EFF, but that message alone, just Vuka, Vela, Vota.
Yes.
That message alone, if it can resonate to you alone, that's a really shout out. So shout out to EFF for the Vuka, Vela, Vota advert. Shout out to the people that did the advert. Would love to have you guys on Spaza Talk. But that is all from Mam'khize. It has been a really, really amazing week. Mpinchwami, is there anything else that you want to say?
My G, that's about it. I think let's give people their time back.
Alright, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys stay listening to us, and make sure if you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure that you press the bell icon. This is Mam'khize, aka Cyril Zuma, aka Mr. Good Vibes. I will check you guys next week, but do not forget to check out our sponsors, www.colorspace and Brandwatch. But yeah, I've said too much. I'm gonna say peace.
Ciao.